Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, Tasmanian age pensioners have revealed the extent skyrocketing power bills are having on their cost of living. Some are opting to switch off heating appliances just to get through, as the opposition renews calls to cap prices to protect consumers.
Around the table of a Country Women's Association meeting, the impact of a deepening cost of living crisis is laid bare.
The gas doesn't get put on, I can tell you, very rarely.
It's too expensive.
And we've got a heat pump, but I mean sometimes because it's so cold here, the heat pump just goes off and doesn't work.
A single pensioner's maximum base rate is just $900 a fortnight. With escalating fuel, grocery and power prices, households are being left to feel the pinch.
I've noticed it's gone up nearly $1 a day now because I can track what I use. To have a 3-monthly power bill, that's going to come as a shock to a lot of people.
Forcing many to make difficult decisions this winter.
Sort of look at the petrol price and think, do I really need to go to Glenorchy today? Do I need to go out of New Norfolk? Or can it wait? A lot of us don't have doctors in the Derwent Valley.
Labor want action, pleading with the state government to adopt a 2.5% cap on energy prices.
They have to hear how hard it is for people to make ends meet, and we need to do what we can to keep those pressures low for people. Capping power prices is one way to do that.
For those already struggling, power bills are set to hike even further, with most Tasmanians yet to experience the full impact of an 11.88% increase, which came into effect at the beginning of this month.
We've certainly done what we can, and we are always listening, and we're always ready to make further decisions if necessary. We have put in assistance packages, certainly for those who are vulnerable in our community.
As we're told to brace for even steeper bills, there's little hope of relief. Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
Hobart City Council has progressed with changes to short-stay accommodation permits, which could see restrictions placed on entire homes converted into Airbnbs. 6 of the 8 elected members voted to endorse a report following public submissions. The amendments will now be deliberated by the Tasmanian Planning Commission, who will make the final decision.
There will still be growth allowed in the visitor accommodation permits, but within very particular zones. And also we're not detracting from existing permit holders.
It's hoped the changes will alleviate pressure on the capital's housing market, with rents among the highest in the nation. Well, Tasmania has hit a record high COVID hospitalisation rate. 100 people are now in public hospitals with the virus. 29 are being treated specifically for COVID, with 2 in ICU. One Tasmanian, a woman in her 90s, has died. More than 1,800 positive results were recorded in the past 24 hours, as active cases near 10,000. Decades-long hopes of Tasmanians have been answered, with a major retailer finally set to land on our shores. Krispy Kreme is partnering with BP to make the famous donuts available at selected service stations statewide from July 22. Social media erupted over the news, with consumers celebrating they'll be no longer forced to bring the donuts back with them when returning from interstate. The team behind Launceston's UNESCO City of Gastronomy say we're only just beginning to taste the benefits. They're preparing to turn up the heat, with more resources being poured into the program.
One of only 49 in the world, Launceston's title as a city of gastronomy is already bearing fruit.
It is drawing in external media who are coming in and utilising the region.
The City of Launceston Council is now ordering another course, plating up $25,000 for the Gastronomy Committee to continue their work.
It connects beautifully with all of the work that we're doing in the northern suburbs in terms of food security, but most importantly, it cements Launceston as a must-see and must-visit destination.
Putting their money where their mouth is to make sure they can continue to leverage the title.
We'll be launching a new brand of gastronomy later in the month, and that's really about building pride in our region.
Also expanding their work in food security.
It's also about ensuring that we enable all of the community to benefit from the produce of the region.
It's just putting Launceston and this part of Tasmania on the map for foodies.
And as they're eating and drinking their way across the state, they're ordering a couple of side dishes too.
Anybody attracted to a place through its food will go and explore and do other things. They'll stay in accommodation, they'll go through our walks, our mountain bike rides, see our heritage sites.
Making sure we don't serve up a half-baked holiday. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
While others are putting their feet up, almost 24 students are spending the school holidays training like police officers. A career development program offering interviews and even possible employment to those who tick all the right boxes.
It's not your average classroom. These 22 Year 12 students working with drug detection dogs as they learn what it takes to keep Tasmania's streets safe.
I love dogs, and just seeing how diligent and how amazing the dogs are and how well trained they are.
The free 4-day career development program is putting their mental and physical fitness to the test.
They undertake PT every morning. They've undertaken scenarios that we've chosen which would be for normal policing for their first 12 months out on the road.
From written examinations to forensic skills, the students are expected to receive gold stars across all fields.
Tomorrow we've got planned a visit to an operational station.
I'm looking forward to the defensive driving as the Tasmanian roads are pretty scary.
Working as a team to make it through the week.
Everyone clicked. It was really insane. The first night, we just spent a long time in the lounge area all together, and everyone was talking, started spilling secrets straight away.
Stepping out of school and into the force could be the next chapter for those who pass with flying colours. This constable, one example of the program's high success rate.
5 years ago, I did the course, same with these guys, so I found it a really excellent experience to sort of get a taste of policing and the academy life.
If you look at the statistics from the April course, roughly 50% are coming through for interview from that.
Constantly on the hunt for recruits, Tasmania Police encourage anyone interested to apply. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
We're being encouraged to nominate inspirational women in our lives for next year's honour roll. The initiative aims to celebrate the state's most outstanding community members and shine a light on those who too often remain in the shadows.
Cementing the stories of trailblazers for generations to come. The Honour Roll of Women recognises historical and contemporary contributions to our community.
It's not just about hearing their stories, it's also about recording their stories so that future generations can look back and see the women and the women's groups who stood up and helped shape our state.
2 2021 inductees are encouraging the community to nominate while reflecting on their achievements. Ros Lewis was recognised for 40 years of teaching service, advocating for young people and volunteering with refugees.
These days it's mainly in campaigning on climate change and making people aware of what they can do to influence change makers.
Mary Dean, a mature-age student and working mother, was nominated for her involvement in starting up land care in Tasmania, as well as advocating for adult learning.
I have a real passion for people to gain their accreditation in what they do, be proud of what you do, and hold your head high.
Some of the names and some of the stories are really familiar, and then there are other women who are just really quiet achievers who it would be very easy for their stories just to slip under the radar, and that's the whole point of the Honour Roll for Women.
Nominations for next year's Honour Roll close on October 2nd. McKenna Bailey, 7 Tasmania News.
Telstra will no longer be taking residential or small business calls from its overseas offices after moving its call centre operations back on shore. The move has seen Telstra's Hobart Centre more than triple in size, creating 100 new jobs statewide.
Our customers have asked us to change the way we answer calls, and they wanted to talk to somebody with local knowledge.
The Collins Street Centre answers around 50,000 calls each month.
Inaugural Jack Jumpers MVP Josh Adams has dropped a bombshell on the NBL. The match-winning guard and the club departed ways at the end of last season. And this morning he responded to a fan on Instagram who accused him of leaving for money, saying, "The coach made the decision that he didn't want me." The Jack Jumpers have declined to comment on Adams' post. It's still unclear where the 28-year-old will play next season. The Hobart Hurricanes have locked in a teenage prodigy for the upcoming WBBL season. All-rounder Hayley Silver-Holmes will join the Purple Army after spending 4 years with the Sydney Sixers, where she played her first game at just 15. The 18-year-old is a member of the Tigers squad and says it made sense to go all in and play her T20 cricket here too. To hockey now, the Northwest Grads are celebrating a crucial win over OHA in the Premier League's mid-table battle. It was a tough match until late when the Grads piled on the goals, winning 6-2 to move into fourth. Midfielder James Burke says the key to retaining the spot and maybe pinching third will be playing fast-flowing hockey.
Basics are really high, ball speed's high, everyone's up and about, making all their traps, yeah.
This weekend they'll face the Diamondbacks, who caused a boil-over in the last round, beating the ladder leaders Derwent to claim their first win of the season.
Good evening. Hobart 12 degrees today, Launceston and Devonport 13, Burnie 14, which was the state's top, also recorded at Spring Bay. You might not believe it, but most overnight temperatures were above average, but today's maxima around or slightly below. Low Head, Friendly Beaches, Bushy Park and King Island 13, Flinders Island, St Helens and Grove 12, Strawn a high of 11. Areas of low cloud across most of the state today, not much over the northwest, and Low Rocky Point, our highest rainfall with 9 millimetres to 3 p.m. The frontal cloud band moved across today, also clipping eastern Victoria, scattered cloud over New South Wales and southern Queensland. The rest of the nation fairly clear. Tomorrow a high over central Australia extends over most of the mainland, a trough running just off the east coast. The winds south-east southwesterly at 10 to 20 knots, grading up to 25 knots over the east and peaking at 30 knots at times. A strong wind warning has been issued for waters east of Flinders Island down to St Helens Point. Hobart for Wednesday, a shower or two and 11. 10 for Geefston, a cool one for Bothwell, 9 with a shower. Launceston, a high of 12, 2 overnight, partly cloudy tomorrow. Devonport 12 as well, 11 the high for Cressy. Burnie expecting a top of 12 and mostly sunny. A shower or two though for Strawn, 11 the maximum, 12 the top for Curry. Showers easing on King Island. Partly cloudy for St Helens with 12, possible shower for Swansea, 11 the high for Orford. On Thursday, a cool start, but mostly fine apart from a shower over the west and far south. Showers again over the west, northwest and Bass Strait on Friday, while nearly everyone will see a little bit of a damp start to the weekend. Partly cloudy in Perth tomorrow, 21 there. Adelaide's cold spell continues. Even colder in Melbourne with showers, a cool one for Canberra. A shower as well in Sydney, fine but windy in Brisbane. Still plenty of cloud, about 8 degrees in Hobart, 10 in Launceston, and right now in Devonport it's 9 degrees. Of all the news happening around the world, Kim, the big story being Krispy Kremes is coming to Tasmania. Good news though for me, my doctor's told me I need to eat more whole foods.
Oh, do not go there. Thanks, Merv. And that is your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.